patient enough to get their feedback. Okay? Thirdly is highlight your unique features, benefits, and value proposition. The reasons we've been shouting value proposition, UVP all this week is for you to help you stand out. When someone asks you, how are you different? What will you offer something that other people are not doing? You easily have to pick up your unique value proposition and answer that question, okay? So always highlight your unique features. What makes you different? And do it in a way that relates with the customers. For example, still on the fluoride, the herbal toothpaste, if someone tells you how are you different and you start talking about your chemistry, the fluoride, impacts on health, that person might have skipped biology classes, right? So what happens is you're there blabbering, but the person is not understanding. So let's make it also relatable. However much we're explaining to them, let's also make it relatable. Same thing with the cuckoo brooder. If we say temperature automation, this does this, like if you become more scientific, what happens is it becomes not relatable to who you're trying to sell. And that goes to any person in that room, okay? So share success stories. When they ask you, who has used your product? For Smart Cuckoo Brooder, for example. Share about the people that have used your product, how they have benefited, yeah? Be quite straightforward on how they can benefit from your solution, yeah? Or give them case studies to support your claims and build credibility. Because right now, since it's your first time to the market, it's going to be quite hard to actually come up with tangible points. But always try to build credibility. So also propose solutions or alternatives to alleviate the prospect's concerns. I'll give you a simple example here, especially those with products, right? If someone is not comfortable with your product, yeah? What tricks can we use? One is sometimes people give free sample trials, yeah? You give the person a small sample trial to test how your product works, yeah? For others, you might give them a bonus. You give them add-on services, free services. So through that, you'll be able to alleviate the prospect of their concerns. Because someone does not want to waste their money where they're not sure of a certain product or service. Lastly is share testimonials. The reason why people are buying from you is because it's relatively useful, yeah? So what that means is let's use these testimonials from customers to actually support, yeah, your product or your startup. So today, you have time until 1 p.m. to go to the field. Until what? 1 p.m. Exactly. So through this, we're going to be able to capture all our leads. I remember you guys went through the CRM, yeah? Who remembers the CRM? So if you recall the CRM, we have both for the B2B and the B2C, yeah? So what kind of information is here is that you can see the name, gender, location, phone number, email, feedback on the product, if they're interested, information or purchase. So information of purchase means whether they have bought or they are interested, for example here. Yeah? So if they're interested, what you do is you have an easy way of tracking the people that have told you come back next week or come back towards the end of the month when you get salary, for example, yeah? So let's make sure we also utilize. So by the end of today, I need to see names here. I need to see people filling in this information for each and every group. Remember, not all of you might have had finished products, yeah? But that does not mean that you can't make a sale, okay? So let's push harder to actually get prospective customers who are willing to buy from us so that when we come back next week, remember this program is not ending on Saturday. We shall continue with mentorship. So if a week from now, 2 weeks from now, we come back and you still tell us that we don't have customers yet, that will be a big question mark, yeah? So let's utilize today to actually get prospective customers so that when we have our products out there, we don't start struggling, okay? Cool? Okay. So while you're in the field, make sure that you update the CRM. How many of you have the CRM? Who doesn't have the CRM? Who doesn't have the CRM? Okay. So since everyone has access to it, let's make sure each and every customer that we talk to, if we have not converted them, make sure we list them as potential customers, yeah? And everyone will be able to present how many leads that they've had. Guys, I have trust issues. So if you tell me that in 3 hours you've only talked to 2 customers, yeah? That will be a very big challenge, okay? And also, for those, for example, like Ali G, we have to know how many purchases you've actually made, okay? Then, now before we go, briefly, I remember you guys recall what customer relationships and channels are, right? Do you remember that? So for example, for Sum Snacks, their customer relationship is responsive customer service, engaging with customers through social media and events, okay? And their channels is collaboration with offices and schools for direct supply, retail distribution for online and store delivery, yeah? So the channels are ideally where they'll be finding their customers, okay? So I'll give you guys exactly 5 minutes. And as a group, I want you to now start writing down where are your channels, okay? By starting to do that, I don't expect you to go outside right now and start asking where are we going, yeah? So let's quickly, in 5 minutes, try to understand our channels, okay? Does that make sense? So let's list down the places we are going to go to with our coaches, yeah? So, do you have any questions?
My question is for when you go to the market and you want to give them a free trial, how long should the free trial be, and are you giving it to them forever? Yes, for testing.
So ideally for your system, it's hard to give a free trial because you have to install it and they have to ideally look at how the system works. So free trial might not work for you guys, but what can work is, for example, installments. So someone will pay you 50%. And once they pay you 50%, for example, you've already covered the cost of your product, right? So what happens is once they test it, even though they don't want to buy it, you can still bring back the system and maybe do reimbursement. But trials or free samples work with people who have products like, let's say, the toothpaste, like the lip balm, people like the bamboo pens, the things. But for your case, since it's a bit bulky, it's hard to give a free trial. The best way would be like if you guys make a showroom where people can come and see how your product works. But for the case of selling to customers, you should majorly utilize testimonials from fellow customers, yeah? And the reason why I say, now for your case, referrals will be the best way is, if I refer you to someone I know, and I tell them, guys, use this product because I'm using it and it's working for me. And okay, it's not like, you remember those pyramid schemes, huh? Where someone would bring you in and they give you commission. No, that's not the case, yeah? But this one is referrals in such a way that you bring someone, yeah? And since I've used the product, I can easily market for you, and I tell the other person how I'm benefiting from your product. Does that make sense? But it will be hard for you because you guys will make losses if you start giving free samples of the cuckoo brooders, yeah? Any other question? Cool. So we have until 1 p.m., yeah, to do this. And each and every group, actually, we shall be giving you 10,000 shillings to do the printing. So remember the flyers that we made? So in case you want to print out your flyer, yeah, we shall give you 10,000 Ugandan shillings. Is that okay? So make sure you print when you're going to offices, when you're going to your prospective customers. Don't go empty-handed. As we said, first impression really matters, and you have to convince people. You have to show them that you're actually entrepreneurs, yeah? So make sure you present yourself well. Before you leave this place, meet your coach, tell them what channels you're going to use, yeah? And also, make sure that you print the things. And for the coaches that are available, they'll go out with you to the field as well to help you make some sales. Okay? Cool? Yeah. So just a brief as well. For those who get to print out the posters, yeah? Make sure we come back with our receipts. Yeah? So once we print it out, whether it's color, that's your own choice, yeah? But let's make sure we come back with the receipts for accountability. Okay? Cool. So I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Let's talk with our coaches before we leave. Then we leave exactly at 10. Okay? Let's make it quick. Check, check, check. case you get some extra. They want to do right? So just have it in mind that okay, we'll start selling to these guys. And so as you said, the focus is just to spread. Just reach out to the people. Even like your customers. Okay, guys, let's make sure we talk to our coaches. Time is going. Time is going. Guys, we have 2 minutes left. Let's finish up. 2 minutes. Yes, members, are we done? Are we waiting for anything or we're done? You good? You can come and take your 10,000 and you are free to go. You just put your name, amount. Don't forget to get the receipts for the printed papers. Huh?
Why are you picking your things from? Wait, that. Yes. Okay. Okay. When you guys can put up, I can put a through bus. I drop the bus from there. We fix the thing. You jump in a portable device. I drive back. And then you go back fix the thing and find us. And we will start moving as we go. See you. How are you?
Guys, why don't they got money? So, guys, if you've received the money and you're done with your coach, kindly, let's go to the field, okay? Time is not of the best essence. There is no time. There is no time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, you who is watching us live on Creative Digital Media. We are coming to you live from Mbarara University of Science and Technology, and to be specific, we are coming to you live from the UCoBS office. And what brings us here this morning is definitely nothing else but UCoBS Master IUC project, and we're looking at sub-project 5 that you could be able to read for yourself. If the camera person could be able to zoom in this very one. This one here is targeted or aimed at increased youth employability through scaling, innovations, experiential learning, and technology transfer with a number of objectives. Delivery, looking forward to deliver on a few objectives, one of them being to develop a multidisciplinary ecosystem, but also to develop training for youth that strengthens their entrepreneurial and innovation skills. The other objective being to strengthen the university. We will need to have this zoomed in. If the camera person could be able to zoom in the objectives. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was still telling you, the third objective being to strengthen the university's capacity by equipping the Center for Innovations and Technology Transfer. For you, I guess, who just, of course, seen it on the screen, you could be able to tell that objective number 1 looks at, developing a multidisciplinary ecosystem that definitely, I think, supports young people, but also to develop training for youth that strengthens their entrepreneurial and innovation skills. So you could be able to tell this one already is what we are looking for. And if you could be able to check the desired changes, you could be able to read and find out we're looking at improved multidisciplinary university ecosystem, to foster youth innovation and entrepreneurship, but also strengthened university capacity to champion, entrepreneurship and innovation research and its community application. So some of these could be those very, very key ones that one must be able to look at for this particular project. Now, you who is watching us live want to know that this one here has not just started. We actually completed level 1 a few months ago, and what you're doing right now is actually level 2. And to break it down, we had a few moments, I think, this starting right away on Tuesday, and it's continuing till tomorrow. I'm talking about Saturday, tomorrow. This could be their closing day. And day 1 had a number of activities, but largely was to introduce every other thing that is about level 2, what it was definitely going to be about, what people or young people are about to achieve in level 2, looking at the objectives, one of them being supporting these young people to develop their products. The other one should be testing revenue potential of these ideas or grow revenue. And the third one being commercialization, all these to be achieved within level 2. So day 1 had teams, kind of dive into enterprise mapping and market research preparation, laying the groundwork for some of the days. And some of these days, for instance, for this very boot camp, I'm talking about from day 2 to day 5. Now, day 2 had some participants venturing into the field to explore some market research and, refine their ideas, gaining some valuable insights into their target audience, but also doing some market, understanding some market dynamics. Day 3, which was particularly yesterday, saw some of these young participants dive into financial feasibility and management, then also market and sales sessions to equip some of these participants, with essential skills to manage finances effectively, but also to develop winning marketing strategies. Now, day 4, which definitely is today, these young people are looking at, championing sales in the field, but also when they come around, we'll be able to look at team development, team leadership sessions, which will definitely focus on practical sales techniques and, effective team management. And you can be able to tell this will be able to, will be aiming to make sure that participants are ready to lead their ventures into success. Now, tomorrow, maybe slightly before tomorrow, later in the day, also when these participants, return from the field, we expect one of the city tycoons or one of the, successful business people here in town, Dr. Edward Kazire, will be delivering some keynote address, but also leading a session where young people will definitely have an opportunity to ask him questions here and there, but also him sharing insights that could have guided him through to the success that we know of today. Now, tomorrow is the final day, and we will be looking at the participants, crafting venture development plans and, perfecting their pitches. We'll have some of them pitch, but also we'll have them at least ready to take their ideas to market with some confidence. So all these have been actually happening, and they still continue. There is quite still a lot. We learned that immediately after this bootcamp, the program will now be focusing on, mentorship, incubation, and the rest of support that one can be able to have. We also know that some of these teams will be able to qualify for some grants. Particularly, I think the winner gets to win something to take home, but also there could be some potential of more funding opportunities that these guys will be able to receive all through. Now, this sounds like just a beginning of each and every other thing. Yesterday we were told this still has some good months to come, around 18 of them. And this definitely is not the end of the journey for these young entrepreneurs. We will be able to close it here. Don't run away. When we come back in the afternoon, we will be able to dive into some of the insights that these guys could have gotten from the field, and also an opportunity to hear from Dr. Edward Kazire, a seasoned tycoon in the city who has actually made it. Him sharing insights, how was the journey, and what could be some lessons for these young men and women. I am Sankara Biarhanga, coming to you live from Mbarara University of Science and Technology. We will be able to come back in the afternoon. Thank you.
Than we anticipated. That was a positive. Then what caught me most is along the way, I met another entrepreneur who was also doing something, and they gave me their card. So it was generally good. We didn't face challenges, or we are not chased anywhere. Good enough. We thank God for that. So briefly, that is it in a summary. Thank you for listening. Yes.
How many people did you sign up?
On our waiting list, my colleague, how many do you have there? Because 15? Mine were 4. Yours were? Okay, that's 29. That's what we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Toothpaste. Lip balm. We also would want to hear, don't be shy to tell us the bad. We would like to hear the good and the bad, and we pick lessons.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, for the lip balm team, We moved around campus and also managed to go to town. Yes, we found many people that liked the product, but were not very ready to buy it since most ladies already have their own lip balms they're using, and they're actually a bit cheaper. So we had to find a way to really try to interest them into our product. We found one person who bought the product because we had 5 pieces. We sold 1 piece. We got 5 people who were willing to get the product around next week. They will tap us. We left them our contacts and they gave us theirs. Then we got around 30 people. There were 30 that wanted to know more about the product. They requested for social media platforms. Just to talk to us and really see if they will get interested. Then we wanted to get 100 new contacts, but we got only 30 people, new people. They had never heard about it, but heard about it and would love to get the product. Thank you.
Any questions for Libam?
One quick comment. If we did the 20, the 30 people that said, give us your social media, we want to learn more about that. At which stage in the sales funnel are these people right now? Our different stages. Where would we locate them right now? Sorry? Acquisition? Someone else? Activation? Yeah. So they are interested, they know the product, but now they're still in this stage where we need to close the deal, right? So this is now the stage where they might buy, but they said they want to know more about the product, they want to see more. Okay. They want to see more how they can use it and so on. So that's all around activation. That's why it's so important to do this step well, so that these 30 interested ones could become paying customers in the end. Well done.
Thank you, Team Libam. Next is Team Furniture. Let's go. AP Furniture. AP Furniture. AP Furniture. AP Furniture.
Good afternoon, everyone. Though you have caught me unaware, because I had just entered right now. But no problem. Okay, I'm Mbarara once again, representing AB Furniture. Today, I was introducing some new concept in my own business. And this new concept was about renting. My old concept was you come, I sell you a bed, and you go with it. But now I was introducing this new concept to my customers. With my mentor, we went together in the field. And the thing was interesting. And we got some feedback from our customers. We talked more about how we can relate together. And they are promising. And that thing of renting was like, can I introduce it? All right.
1 minute.
That thing of renting was like a student can come at campus without anything, and to afford to buy a chair, a table, plus a bed may be hectic for them. Then this concept was like, you come, I rent you a bed, and you pay per month or per year, depending on the needs and how capable the customer is. And we got to interview 4 people, 4 hostel owners, and they promised that we shall start in August. And they are really promising, and even I have worked there are many things I have prepared. You'll get to know about them. Thank you.
Any questions for APA? AP Furniture? Yes.
Obvious, yes. Even right now, I can show you in my phone. showing that, can I come and buy? Yeah. I have not got a chance to explain more about it, but quickly it's like more of student. Yeah. And in case of any concept, I will represent, tomorrow I may present it well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, it's Team Mosquil.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I'm Bridget Talema Tyra Team Mosquil, and I'm here to represent them. We moved around field work too, and we managed to interview 9 new people, plus the 5 old people we had met earlier. So the 5 were promising to buy if we already had the ready product with us. But due to the fact that we moved with a prototype, so they were like, by Monday, we're willing to buy, but we don't have the product. Yeah, the 9 people, they liked the idea. They wanted to know more about it, which we did, but because of time, we reduced on our words. But the prototype would tell. Yeah, because we had videos showing the process and some other things about our product. They really loved it, and they also showed us a promising heart that once the product is out, we shall buy. And we shared our social media handles so that we can get in touch with them. One major reason I got from people was they really like witness from their fellows, not us selling, such that if my friend Peter buys it, what they hear from Peter saying, that thing works, so they will buy. So my view was, if we can produce to a smaller scale, we sell to a few particular number of people, I know the feedback will help us get more market.
How are you sharing the videos?
Yes?
The videos, how are you sharing them? You would give them the phone to look at the videos?
No, we would share them to WhatsApp, because we have a video which was live, a mosquito being killed by our, at night.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to know who are the actual customers you went to. Are you just picking up anyone randomly? Were there specific people you were looking at?
For our field work, we interviewed 3 classes of people. One was household, these people who stay in their homes. Another were these people who are at their workplaces, on roads, those people who are seated working at their work. Then others were in offices. So there were 3 classes of people. And we all got different views according to their earning in terms of price. Yeah.
Those who are seated, the vendors, how much are they willing to buy?
People in office were saying 150. People at home were saying 30K. And then vendors were saying 50K.
Vendors were saying 50.
Yeah.
People in offices were saying
150. Then households were saying 30K.
And how are you responding to these people? Like, the person tells you 30. What are you going to tell that person? I want to know. Of course, 150 is nearer to what you would want, right? Mm-hmm. But now 30, what will you tell this people?
We wouldn't discourage them, but our view was to just...
I won't say we experienced a lot of problems. Okay, for me personally, I was just hungry. I just wanted to eat, so you can't.
Any other question for Frank? Frank, before you run. Laura, you have a question for Frank. Okay, can we welcome the fair packaging eco fair? There's also another eco fair partner. I don't know if he can stand up for recognition. Say, you see? Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I'm Edith, and representing the Eco Fair. So we moved around town and then Tasso Village. Our primary people that you're targeting being vendors and food packaging people, like chapati stalls, chip stalls, then bakeries. Most people were negative in a way that people are not like knowledgeable or informed about the ecology and how to preserve it. Many of them are about making money, and of which the polythene bags are cheaper, 3,000 in comparison to paper bags. And also, most of them were not receptive, like the chapati stalls. They're not receptive just because they did not know. But after talking to them and explaining to them how hot foods affect their customers and how these polythene are not biodegradable, like most of them are like, oh, leave us your customer card, then we shall talk, business card, we shall contact you. There were about 6 people. Then we went to chip stores, and for them, they are already using the packaging, but they have different suppliers. But they told us if we can give them an offer that is slightly equivalent to what their suppliers are giving them, they will buy from us. Actually, one lady was telling us to give her 1,000 pieces if we had them that time. But we told them we can get back to them on Sunday. Then she was like, it's okay, because we are her customer. Then people who went to the bakeries and the supermarkets, they're receptive about the idea, just they want the branding, and most of them, the managers are not around, and they needed us to talk to the managers. So the chapati vendors are not receptive, but these people who are selling like in, how should I call them, the supermarkets and office type of vendors are receptive about the idea and are willing to support us. Yes.
I'm hearing the word branding. So are you branding for the supermarket? Because for me, if I'm a supermarket, that is a win for me.
So branding is one of the things we are using to market. If you buy in large quantities, you're branded for free. Yes. Pardon? It's one of the things we are using to market. Like it will be more of a free service if you buy in bulk.
Can we reflect shortly again on what they've shared, right? Again, we hear there are so many different segments they were approaching. What is the conclusion we can draw from their experience? Yeah. Yeah.
Small scale food or street food businesses who are more interested. How big on the customized confectionaries.
Awesome, yeah, because we don't want to waste our time and our energy on customers that just don't care. They just might not be the right fit for our product, yeah? So I think this is really cool that you explored all these segments, and now let's put all the power to the ones that are most promising, because that will give you much faster returns for your business. With one order. Yeah, perfect.
Well done, Team EcoFair. That clap is for Team Bamboo. Bamboo pens.
Good afternoon, everyone. Team Bamboo, we are actually the winners. We moved out with confidence. We went to schools. We have no negative report today. So reaching schools, they welcomed us. We went to the Mbarara Municipal School, and the head teacher, we talked to the administration so that they can actually see through before we take it to the students. So they told us this pen is not worth a primary student, baby or kid. So they told us maybe we could give it to the staff, only staff. So they actually told us our price is 3,000, and they were like, it should be like 5. So 5,000, yes. Then we moved to stationaries, and for them, because they are, of course, also dealing with profits, they told us maybe we could reduce the price, but they loved the pen. Then reaching to other schools, they placed their orders for the staff also. Then students are willing to buy, but also on a reduced price. From 3,000 up to around 1K for students of the upper faculty, even around here. So it was a success, but we found out that our potential customers for this very pen would be for signing people, just for signing. Offices, the NSSF, they also were willing to buy. So they wanted actually for us to take for them. So we got 12 orders.
12 orders times 12 pens on.
No.
I mean per school, like how many pens for municipal council?
Municipal school has around over 60 teachers. So they wanted, then yeah.
Then for the stationaries, one guy asked for 2 boxes, then they asked for 1 box.
How much do you sell 1 box for? Okay, but because you said before you want to sell 1 pen at 3K, and now people even told you they were happy to pay 5. So maybe you can now think if
Yeah, most of them want for trying. Yeah, they want for trying a sample. Yeah, they pay for it. Yes, then they can see if it. Yes, most of them like the art of it. The art, swords, yeah.
Nice. So maybe one more comment. Like because you talked to some stationery shops as well, right? And they said they want it cheaper. Yes, because they have to get
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Team Bamboo. We have visitors that have just walked in, so I want to finish with the lighters. The lighters, you have 2 minutes to tell us what you've done.
Yes, as people who are giving services, which will always come at last. Good afternoon, everyone. Angela Namanya presenting Hospitality Skills PLO, UG. We are no longer the writers. From here, we went and print out our flyers for we are targeting customer segment. They are students and hotels. So we went to Mbarara Community Institute. We talked to the administration. The good thing, they gave us their audience. We talked to the students, and the students were like, it is very okay. And they said they have been murmuring up and down, looking for what to do after their course, but now they are getting where they can get the connection. And we went to Kakova College, and the director was like, it is very okay. They can partner with us, and any intake they have, they will always call us. We talk to the students. And then for the hotels, we went to Oxford Inn, Nichols, Skylight. And for the case of Nichols, they said on weekends they are always busy, so they usually hire people outside they don't know. And the manager was like, it is okay, we shall always call you and give us the workers during the weekend. And the Skylight, the same thing. Oxford, they agreed with us. They are going to sit and agree on the percentage we will be giving them as they give us the room where to train our workers. They will always be with us. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Lighters. Any questions for Lighters? Did you tell them the messiness we went through? Yeah. You've told them every mess we went through. Doctor, I think you need to take charge and invite the visitors. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I believe you enjoyed the field because in the innovation language, the tire of the car was touching the tarmac. Which means you had pressure in the tire, the engine is okay, and the vehicle is able to move. I want to welcome you back, and I want in a special also to welcome our innovation guest speaker, Dr. Kazire is here with us. I know many of you have interfaced with him before, but some of us have not, and so we are excited. Who hasn't taken a Kazire drink here? Anybody who has not taken a Kazire drink? Hey, you have never? My God, there are some people who have not tasted your drinks. So please, this is a moment when you are called upon to mention the magic in Kazire drinks, beverages. Without much wastage of time, I want to first introduce our audience to you. Then I can invite you to say something. This is a level 2 bootcamp for entrepreneurship development. And this bootcamp is facilitated by this project, UCoBS. UCoBS is an abbreviation. The full details are indicated. That's the full name. University as a facilitator for community-based sustainable solutions to demographic challenges in Southwest Uganda. we are implementing Project 5, and Project 5 is indicated here. Our goal is to increase youth employability through skilling, innovation, experiential learning, and technology transfer. And indeed, our participants, we take them through this exercise. We give them skills of doing business. We promote design thinking, which is at the heart of innovations. We promote experiential learning. We are only hands-on. And as you talk to us, we want to hear the hands-on you have gone through to be you. Okay? And our goal is to export. We don't want to stop in Uganda when we talk of markets. We want to go beyond. Actually, yesterday we engaged with a question. In 10 years' time, how much sales do you want to realize? And we have set a mark of 5 billion revenue, sales turnover. We want to hear, Kazire, how much revenue, sales turnover does it register now? How much was it registering 10 years ago? We want to hear this story in what you will tell us. So basically, this is the project, and we are here as 8 teams. I want to start with the innovators or the future CEOs, and I will call upon the CEOs for EcoFair to stand up for recognition. So that is one of the team. I want to recognize the team leader. Please, you can wave. And he's a medical doctor in his 4th year at Mbarara University of Science and Technology. I want to recognize the next team of the elites, the lighters. And the CEO, please wave. So this is a female-led enterprise, and it is service-oriented. They are trying to improve, to promote youth employability, and also to reduce the danger of missing employees in hotels, tourism, and hospitality. So there they are. The team, Mosquil. You are 2 today. These people are dealing with malaria. They want to see that they finish mosquitoes without causing harm, both to the environment and to the human being. Okay, the details. So the CEO, please wave at him. The team, please, you keep reminding me of the team's cuckoo. What cuckoo? Smart cuckoo. Smart cuckoo. Smart cuckoo team, please, the CEO, whoever at us. These are solving the problem of hatching chicks. Is it hatching? Hatching? Brooding chicks. Brooding. Thank you. And they have already hit the market. They have given us an insight of what they got today, and for sure, the journey is promising. Then we have the team, Bamboo Pen. Before you leave, if you can do a fundraise and you buy this bamboo pen, it will be magical for them. Please, the CEO, wave at us. Yes. The next team is which one? The one of Herbal? Spark Herbal Toothpaste. These are trying to reduce the sulfur content in our toothpaste, and they are promoting that product of toothpaste. The CEO, please wave at us. They are all CEOs, you see. Yes, one is the CEO of marketing, one is the CEO of finance and administration, and another one is CEO general. So they are all here. Yes. And then lastly, I think we have one more. Oh, there is AB Furniture. AB Furniture. These are trying to produce specialized furniture, particularly for the student population, the migrant population within Mbarara city, and the general furniture supplies. Unfortunately, he always moves alone. The rest of the team is in operations, so they're in the carpentry workshop. But he has done some good work. Lastly but not least, we have the one for lip balm. That is Ali G. Ali G. Oh, so finally today you are two. You are most welcome again. So these are responding to the need, the gender need of having moistured lips. And they have already hit the market, but they want to perfect their product and grow their sales. So these are the 8 teams that are here, and we have been here as mentors. Please, mentors, I want you also to stand for recognition. Mentors, mentors, mentors. Okay, so mentors, one is Dr. Rennie from Faculty of Business. We have Dr. Imelda, your neighbor. That one is known to you. We have Dr. Sarah Nabachwa from the Faculty of Business. We also have Mr. Joseph Chitagenda. This one is from Uganda Industrial Research Institute. He's the Product Development Manager at URI. So he has been with us here throughout the week. We also have the Secretariat. The Secretariat, please stand for recognition for this project. So this is the team you are seeing here. I don't know whether Keisha is around. Now, in a special way, this training is also a capacity build training to Mbarara University team. So, Startup Africa is charged with this capacity building. Please, the team from Startup Africa, stand up for recognition. So there is the CEO, and this is his team. Huh? Her team. No longer gender, we are all equal now. Don't mind. It's about gender. So it was deliberate. Eh? But if you react to it, apologies, it is her team. Okay. In this activity, we also move with the media house, and we have Creative. Creative is here with us. Oh, Keisha, you're here. So we have Creative. The Creative team stand up for recognition also. The other one is already standing. So these are the cameras. And for your information, this activity is being streamed live. So whatever you tell, you are telling the world. You are telling the world. So basically, this is the team we have here, and I want to take this honor to invite you to give us the guest presentation and inspire us to the next level. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Doctor. I want to thank the Lord for this afternoon, especially for this kind of arrangement at a moment when the continent needs this most. And when the university now feels that it's not how much knowledge it is to pile in your mind and how high the grades you pick, but how much you can impact society, then we are getting to the right direction within the university, because I have a feeling that in the university, as we pick a lot of knowledge, it will increase our IQ. But we need wisdom from the community so that we become wise. Excuse me. And these two will work together to make us successful. You are privileged and you are blessed, because what is happening to you now officially happened to me informally in 1997. because I had a desire to create a future I wanted to see. But it was hard to find people to mentor me. The only luck I had was that in 1999, one of my lecturers, Dr. Grace Nambatia, who is currently the director of the Natural Chemotherapeutics Research Laboratory at the Ministry of Health, and one of our own, Professor Patrick Ogwang, who is the head of department here, the head of pharmacy department. These people were still fighting the battle, especially on the standardization of natural medicine, trying to fight that the natural medicine should be medicine. Because by that time, the legal framework in our country was putting natural medicine as witchcraft. But these were great scientists who decided to keep the battle to fight so that they can put light to this. And in 2019, it was a great moment in the field of natural medicine when the National Drug Authority adopted the WHO guidelines for standardization of herbal medicine. And we had the first drug get notified and the first manufacturing license for drugs to be issued to a herbal manufacturing facility at Jena. And in 2000, Kazire Health Products followed suit with two of our products. One is Vidicin, which is now undergoing the last stage of clinical trials in Mulago, which is the highest research level in drug development. It is now happening on the continent, happening in our country, but with much of the research done within this university where we are seated. We do not take this for granted, but it is a result of the power of focus. So many people who see the Kazire investments today, approximately 5 to 10 million US dollars today, they think it started today. They think it started a year ago. They think it started 5 years ago. No, it is as old as the last century. I started on this project in 1997 when I made my decision that I wanted to go to the university, and when I reached there, I wanted the knowledge that I acquire should be brought back to the community. And that caused trouble for me in the university, because in the lecture theaters I would ask too much until when I could understand how I can apply this knowledge, then I would not relax. It was not about how much I would score. No, it was how much do I understand what I have studied. When we were doing industrial stoichiometry, like handling fluid mechanics, handling heat transfers, mass transfers, and so on, it is of recent when you are said to try to evaluate the performance of a UHT sterilizer in the factory that you can remember what it meant to get the exact mass energy heat transfer coefficient, where we were calculating very terrible curves. And when I'm able to say this sterilizer requires maintenance today. So that is where the university now is taking us. And when we talk about increased youth employability through skilling, innovations, experiential learning, and technology transfer, it is the way to go. And it is in line with the national development programs, because, you know, the president himself has put a number of innovation hubs within the various corners of the country where skilling is taking place. And I think there is a full-fledged secretariat now under President's office, which is a secretariat for science, technology, and innovation, headed by Honorable Musenero, and she has visited this university. They have funded some of the innovation programs within this university and other universities, and we work with that secretariat. And when we talk about experiential learning, it is now the way to go. When the university says, you have done it today in the class, now go to the field tomorrow. And when it comes to technology transfer, this becomes extremely unique, and I think that's why Yuri is here. I'm grateful to Dr. Kwesga. He has done all it takes to make sure whatever is possible is put at the new center in Namanve, whereby if you have a good designer today, you can give your engineering drawing to the young men there and young ladies, and you can have your equipment designed, and you can have your work done. So all this is what we wished for. Some years back, it was not possible, but today it is possible. I wish to encourage you. The environment in the business world today will not be better than this ahead. It is the opportune moment, especially for Uganda and the East African community. When we say East African community, we are talking about DRC, we are talking about Southern Sudan, we are talking about Somalia, we are talking about Kenya, Burundi, Rwanda, and Tanzania. And it's a huge population. But as businessmen, an entrepreneur, every time you are looking at sustainable solutions to community problems. You want to solve a problem. You are not a money maker. We need to understand this at an early stage. If you want to be a businessman, an entrepreneur, or if you want to be a money maker. If it is about making money, you can make money because there is a lot of money moving out here in the world. What is required is what do you have to sell. You can decide to sell marijuana. You can decide to sell cocaine. You can decide to sell anything if it is about making the money. You can even sell a fake product. When demand increases, you decide to adulterate because you want to make the money. But how long will you make the money? Is what you must think about. So, you need to set your goals and vision clear before you begin. Like at Kazire, our goal is very clear, is to improve the livelihoods of people and their communities by providing unique health products which are natural, so that in sourcing our raw material input, we are delivering cash to the community, which community will again buy our product, so that there is we complete the loop in the money cycle system. And this has been our base. So you need to set your goals. Business is like football. When you are on the pitch, you must know where the goalposts are for you to score. It doesn't mean every kick on the ball leads you to the score. So not every deal that will come on the table, you have to sign it because it is talking about money. No. First seat. I saw young CEOs here. The signature of a CEO is very powerful. It is not from the hand, it is from the head. So you must think as you sign. So So, are you signing to the dream of your company? If your company today does not have the goal, set the goal positions now, because you don't have where to kick the ball. How will you measure your score if the goals are not in place? But these goals must be leading you to your vision, the grand vision that you want to achieve. And because our vision is providing health products to the community, that's why if raw materials are not available, we will produce what we have. And that's why even today, if you go on the market, the demand for Kazire health products is still far, far away, greater than its supply. But I cannot compromise on the standards. So that's why one of the great businessmen, Ford, said a quality product will never saturate the market. Because you are always thinking about it, improving it, so its efficacy and demand will continuously grow. My brothers who are working on the toothpaste, you have a niche there because there is a huge gap there. You were from the field. Most of the time when I walk and move, I tend to visit the dustbins. I park my vehicle, I get out, I check in the dustbin. And people who are around wonder, this smart man. And those of around who know me, they say, hey, this man seems he's not stable. But when I go there, I'm trying to count how many bottles of Kazire are there and of which brand and which other empty bottles are there. Because you can measure your sales by the rate at which you are leaving the shelf, not the time you are spending on the shelf. So I need to go in the dustbins. If I miss presence in the dustbin, I am finished. So that means I'm stuck on the shelf. And when I'm watching my competitor, I will come and monitor his production date. If I go to Guru now and I find what I produced last month in need last month is already in Guru, that tells you the speed of money, the speed at which I am getting my money bounce back in my account. So it is not about cash flowing, but flowing in which direction and at what speed. That will determine how fast you can be rich, how fast you are impacting community, how fast you are transforming your company, and how fast your impact is being realized within the community you are operating. So you have to visit the dustbins all the time and mark yourself. And even when you go there, you will find if there is a specific product and it is over-accumulating within the dustbins, pick it, go on YouTube, find how is it made. Do you have the capacity to produce it? That tells you it has demand. But it is demand against a population of 200 million people in the East African community, which is growing beyond, it is now approaching 300 million. But how many units have you sold to the 300 million people? So you need to project to the numbers. So that's why data comes in. You need to analyze the numbers. So today, my team cannot lie me that there is no money when I know that last month the brewery sold almost more than 90 billion in 1 month. Then you tell me there is no money. Where did the brewery get the money from? It tells me, my team, you are sleeping. I will fire you because you have not hit the targets. So numbers and targets. Don't simply be busy. In business, it is how much profit we are making, not being busy. You can be busy the whole year, but when you have not made any business, and you even crush your capital. So that takes us, most of the entrepreneurs here, I see you are in manufacturing. That takes us to, have you done the mathematics of your production costs? Do you have the numbers and the data? How much is your input? How much is your output? It is after that you need to do a material balance, but also do a cash flow balance. Then you will know, are you busy or you are in business? Then whatever keeps me busy with no business, I close. I don't need to spend time there. Then whatever is making profit, leaving profit to me, then it makes sense to me as an entrepreneur. The role of an entrepreneur, you must make money produce. Look at this. For me, when I see people say unemployment, you can turn this. This is a huge resource. The young entrepreneurs know this is a huge resource. We need to plan for these numbers. They have gone far to make even associations. And in their mind, they have believed they are unemployed. In their mind, they have believed, why they were doing this, government etuyambe. The government should come and help them. So when they go home, they really sleep and snore. They dream dreams of just snakes running after them. I was with my boy. We slept at 3. Because we are analyzing data. The month has ended. Did we make profit? Which trends should we follow? Which brand made us move? We needed to do that. So I can't sleep because the dream is burning me. Young CEOs, you can't just sleep. You can't be at a bar in noise. You need to sit in a calm place and your mind operates. The role of an entrepreneur is to think and guide the team. I'm grateful most of you are paired. I see 2, 3, and so on. But I know behind you are other numbers. Now I cannot be at the factory right now offloading a truck. Then I am misusing the value of my time. So, when you look at these numbers, to the CEOs, it is a resource. But to these people, they feel it is being unprivileged. In 2001, this is what I was dreaming. In 2001, I was dreaming this. I remember in 2008, that's when I began construction in Ruti, and one of the rich men in this city, I called him so that he could listen to my dream and give me financial support. After my discussion with him, he talked with the friend who had introduced me to him and said, this is a madman. Give him a few weeks, he will be in the dustbins. And already I was always in dustbins. So, understand one thing. Nobody will understand your dream. The only thing you can do is to conceptualize your dream and put it into simpler language in form of a vision and objectives, so that you lead the team to walk by those guidelines that they can reach your dream. But nobody can dream your dream. This you must understand. So along the journey, there is when you will present some of your dreams and ideas and they will look rubbish to scholars, to technocrats, very important people. But one of my experience that touches me most is that most of the trashed ideas that I would present, when I insisted and picked on them, they are the ones that have caused tremendous change in my journey to a successful business. So this you must take note. So do not be discouraged when you present your concept is trashing it. In your time, most of the a master's in pharmacognosy and natural medicine science. I'm doing my research. I've finished my biotechnological part. I'm going down for phytochemical analysis. And the CEDRACs were asking me, now what are you running? And I'm telling them, I want to understand more. When I looked at the data about the global demand on natural products growing exponentially, it was projected that by next year, which is 2025, it will have grown from about to 320 billion to 550 billion, not Uganda shillings, US dollars. Then I said, how do I tap into that? And 10% of those sales were projected to Prunus africana, with the highest demand in Europe. While more than 50% of all men above 40 years of age, their prostate is enlarging, and some are at the risk of getting prostate cancer. Prunus africana, which is the key source of now a very effective extract, is already blacklisted here in Uganda. It's an endangered species. So I said, there is a lot of money here, but how do I get it? I needed to come back to school. So I needed to get interface with professors in biotechnology and learn. I've successfully extracted cells. I'm able to build a mass. In 3 weeks, I have a huge mass from a small cell. And when I finish, I find that the phytochemical analysis gives me smooth, comparable data with the natural plant. Then I will be thinking about building a big production lab, not planting a huge forest. So when I have a huge production lab with a small garden where I extract plants, cells, then I employ young biotechnologists, and there is no need for disturbing old women in the villages to carry hose every evening and morning. I do not need to disturb the bark of the tree. I only need a small piece from its leaf, and I move on. Sustainability. People who are in production, are you thinking about your raw material source? I want to give a simple scenario. When I had reached this city, one of the biggest production centers was of steel in Kakoba. But there was less projection on the flow of the materials. Most of the raw materials which were coming in was scrap. But scrap which was coming from an unsustainable source. And today, the machinery is there, the engineers are there, the good managers are there, but there is no raw material to produce steel. This is a city that produced steel. But today we can't produce a single steel bar. Reason? Raw material. So, are you thinking about your raw material? So, think about it. Sustainability. You can make money today, but will you make money tomorrow? And your methods, your processes, are they economical? Do they make business sense? Or what you will produce, even someone who imports a similar product from America, plus freight costs, insurance costs, VAT, import tax, and all the taxes involved, your product is still twice the price of the imported product. Will you compete in the market? Yes, your product is available, but is it affordable? All these, you must think about them as an entrepreneur. There is no university of experience. The experience is obtained through benchmarking. You need to visit people who have been there in that line where you are. If you are to volunteer, volunteer. I remember in 2008, I had to go to China and volunteer in some industries to pick the knowledge, to pick on the different skills, so that I would transfer this knowledge back here. Something interesting, when I had finished partly my work at Wahaha industry, which was later, I think now is part of the Coca-Cola group. They pledged to pay me $10,000 over that time. I want you to imagine how much money was that. But the value was not worth my dream. So if you are an entrepreneur here, a CEO whose dream can be bought for a certain value of money, then you are in a wrong audience. Recently, Cedric came with some investors. They were telling me they want to franchise with us, but they will bring extracts from their country. I asked Cedric, what about my farmers who have been there for me for the last 16 years? If my purpose is to improve the community, the livelihoods of people and their communities, if I no longer buy their aloe vera, where will they sell it? But still I want to sell them the product. I want to get money from them when I don't want to send money back to them. Is it balanced? I said they were bringing in over, is it 4 million? $4 million US. I said, no. It is taking us off our journey. If they were saying they want to invest in more money, that we arrange and be able to bring up many more outgrowers, that then they facilitate more lines at the plant so that I can meet my demand immediately, I would have said you are welcome. But their vision, remember they also come with their vision, is maybe improve their communities elsewhere, who will supply the raw materials which they will process primarily and then bring here for bottling, so that they snatch money from my community and take it away. Is it in line with my national development plan? I would have betrayed my government. I said no. Your dream shouldn't be bought for any value of money. As a CEO, think about that. We are here on morals and values. You must have set a set of the values that are attached to your company. Your company must be known for a specific value. At our factory, it's an open gate because we want everybody to see and appreciate that it's a natural process of production. We never close our gates. They are open. So that is a specific value that we have attached to our processes. Opportunity and networking. I think what is happening right now is networking. There are a lot of opportunities that will come your way, but not every opportunity should be taken up. Evaluate it first. I had shared this in my introduction because I had to resign the job to decide to pursue my dream. So there is a cost to everything. Some people talk about capital, they say the money. No. You do business because you want to make the money. So why should you have the money in the beginning? When you have the money, then there is no need for making the business. But because I had no money, I had grown up in a family where I was a firstborn, they would chase me for school fees. They sold cows to educate me. They sold land. They were paying me $350. It could only pay tuition for my next brother. But we were 8 in a family. So, the need for money was far huge than what I could earn. And I had to take a decision and know that you cannot earn money enough to settle your issues on a job. It's rare. That's why if you are in this room, if you are employed, thank God, but let that job be there. But you need another source of income. Cash will flow every time. There is no much that will stop other money flowing your way. When I started Kazire Health Products, we were looking at only producing the drinks. We widened to the pharmaceutical sector. We went to logistics. We have another company, Riz Logistics. It's based in Bonastore, where Bonastore was. We have another company called Kaztrans. It's based in Riti. We deal in construction, transportation, engineering solutions. So, every time there is an opportunity for you to make more money, invest there. And every time you are investing there, you are creating more jobs. And you are improving society. So, I had to make a decision and move. But remember, as I stepped on to move, I needed to move where I am skilled, where I am knowledgeable, where I have interest. Those three are paramount. Do you know what you are doing? Do you have the skills it takes? And are you interested anyway? That even when you work longer hours, you are not tired, but you can only feel exhausted. Those two things are different. You get tired of something, you feel like abandoning. But you feel exhausted, you feel like resting. So, that's why my first source of income was focused in how do I easily produce what I can understand well with what I have. I had 20,000 shillings. By then, it was some big money, because by then it was about to, this would be about to $20. Yeah, because the dollar by then was around 900. So you can put $20 today and see how much money I had. And I believe every person in this room, you have access to such a value of money. But one key thing, my initiation and kickstart was a value beyond the 20,000 which I had, because there was capital in terms of the integrity that I had in the community. Not something. When I had this money, I used it as transport to go back to my village. When I reached in the village, the first thing was produce a cough syrup, where I needed eucalyptus oil. So I needed to distill eucalyptus leaves, but I needed a distilling unit. So I had to hire a drum. The distillation method I needed to do is not what we do at Kazire now, which is advanced. I needed to distill at the river because other people were already distilling from there. When we talk about technology transfer and affordable technology, this is what we are talking about. Someone is distilling waraji from Tonto on a river. Then me, a senior chemist, I am there, failing to go also, I distill eucalyptus because I first need a stainless steel distilling unit with a fractionating column attached to it. Surely. So I say, I have now to apply the knowledge which these local people are using to distill. I also distill. They are distilling waraji, I distill eucalyptus oil. And after obtaining my meals, I immediately, using same money, I went on a bus. I had to hire to rent, to borrow a separating funnel from the chemistry department at Makerere. So as you move, which traces do you leave behind? Are you able to come back to this university and borrow an equipment that makes you kickstart? Or you have been pricked in the department, nobody feels you are welcome back. So I was always at good terms with technicians because I needed to understand a lot of practical skills. So I was a lab man, always in the lab. So when I came, I said I wanted to separate, have my oil purified. It was easy for me. And after that, I passed in Ruzira at Afro Plastics. I bought a few bottles for packaging. By then they were there at the gate for going to prisons. Then I got on a bus, reaching in the village. I got honey on credit from my neighbor because of the integrity. In your village, your family is known for what? Stealing. Or you borrow, you never refund. All that is capital. All those are drivers to your progress and success. So, and the guy gave me the honey. I branded, I packaged it, and on Monday, I hit to the Kelson market. I said degree, first wait. I have to be like these herbalists. Because I know what I'm practicing and I understand it. So I also said, if you are having coffee, you can come. Then someone is telling you it's a shame. Okay, let shame kill your dream. But if you know what you are doing, why are you ashamed about it? So I called the people, and people came, and I would dispense out. They bought, because I knew all best cough syrups, the active component is Eucalyptus globulus oil, which has menthol and comfort. That is the only knowledge that had come from the university that I was using at that time. But the rest were soft skills. How do you relate with the neighbor? How do you talk with the community? How does community perceive you? How do you talk? You can be the student with the first class here. But how you relate at work, you may not be the best. So you keep with your first class, but it will not impact anybody in society, in your community. That's useless knowledge. Knowledge must flow, but when it is flowing, it must cause change within the community and society. So what happened? That day, I sold 50,000. And I had 50,000 now in my hands, and it belonged to me. The first thing, I went and paid the honey guy and asked for 2 jerrycans now, and he gave me. I went, I never now hired the drum. I bought my own drum because I knew I needed to distill longer hours. How are you accumulating your capital? When you get some profit, do you think about going to buy a bigger phone? Or you are reinvesting? The most virus to businesses that I have seen with no treatment at all that has killed young businesses is when money begins coming in, you lose focus. One, you begin planning how to eliminate your colleague from that business so that you stay with it alone. 2, you begin swindling money that you create your other sources, your other way of spending. You lose focus. You begin building conflict between the 3 CEOs who were friends at the beginning. You spend now much knowledge and time fighting than building. You finish time breaking, destroying than building. That was another danger that I observed along the journey of business development. So when money comes in, how do you... So that when any bank is to lend to you, it's not about your security, it's about your cash flow. Because the flow of cash determines the health of the business. It's like blood in the system. So if your HB lowers, there's trouble to you. Thank you. So, note this carefully. The oxygen of the business, cash flow. If you lack oxygen now, if they don't take you there, at the ICU to put you on oxygen, you die. So if your business lacks cash flow, then you are in trouble. So be careful with the cash. When cash begins flowing, treat it with respect. Let it flow through its channels to the bank, to the supplier, to the service provider. Then keep your profit and plan it well. So, at my break-even point was when I could make 50,000 shillings. And I used it to pay the suppliers. And I had to keep the cycle on. When we talk about sustainability, are you able to reproduce what you did the other time so that you continuously have your 20,000 producing 50,000? The journey to growing rich is as simple as that. How do you make 1,000 shillings grow to 1,500 shillings sustainably, not for 1 week and in another week you can't make it? So I told you at a certain level, you will realize that the knowledge you have is not enough. The experience you have is not enough. And at some point, you need to go back to school. You need to go for benchmarking. You need to hire people who know what you do not know so that you move on. But if you say, I want to keep with my formula under the armpit, it will rot there. And you will die when it has not caused impact to society and the world around you. So in 2006, I had to fly to China because I knew the Chinese were far away ahead of us in natural medicine. And indeed, when I reached there, it was a different world. It was a different world. That's why I said I'm working hard so that I go back home and demonstrate this. And I thank God because I have done it. Ministries come. The National Drug Authority, a big authority in this country, comes to see how we have managed to produce a product. In January, you come and test it, it is passing. In June, it is passing. In December, it is passing. You pick it in the market in Congo. You bring it back to the labs, it is passing. You pick it from Guru, it is passing. You pick it from our production line, it is measuring the same. Create standards. You need to standardize your process. And it can only be achieved through serious record keeping and training of your teams, especially those who are in production. Record keeping and continuous training of your teams. When we talk about growth, there is where you will reach and you find that the current technologies cannot give you the numbers and you need to modify, upgrade on your equipment, but this should be demand driven. I learned this from the Toyota systems. They have a key principle called the Kaizen principle. You can import the most sophisticated technology, but if you don't have appropriate people to run it, it will be useless. You will have wasted your resource. So, when you are planning to transfer knowledge, to transfer technology, is it appropriate for the users? Okay? So, think about, and is it even cost effective? When you validate, when you test how it is doing it, is it still matching? Is it giving you the same standard? Or when you brought this more advanced technology, it has tampered with your processes, and when parameters are taken for analysis, your results are varying. Okay? Your mixer. Maybe you have decided to increase the capacity of the mixer because the demand has grown. But are you still attaining the same mixing index? Or instead of buying a big unit, you were supposed to buy multiple units so that you run batch-wise and later keep consistency. All these, you must think about them. That's why an entrepreneur must always be thinking. when we talk about skilling, thank God the universities are intensifying on this. Even if you have the best thoughts, but you need people to drive them. And these people must be skilled to give you the results that you want to see. Imagine, business is like war. You have all the guns with you, but you have people who cannot shoot, who do not know how to even hold the gun. You will lose the war when you are seeing. So you need to train well yourself and your team. Teamwork. I told you business is like football. If you want to be the master, all the time you are the one to be with the ball from your post, from your wing, up to the other side. Is that football? Is that a smart game? So CEOs, quickly think about this. Actually, a good CEO never goes to the pitch. You have to keep somewhere. Because when you are outside the pitch, you are able to follow every kick. And you are able to see, this is time I need to change a number this and put a number this. Because you are outside the pitch, so you can watch well. But sometimes, most CEOs, we want to be on the pitch, we want to be again the refs, we want to be everything. So at the end of the day, we lose the game. And the most important is winning the game and taking the trophy. It's not about how much you've been holding the ball. No. So, learn to train people to support you, learn to trust, learn to delegate. I now work with about 500 people. At Kazire alone right now, they are about 300. At Liz Logistics, we are in 150. At Trans, they are about 70. In Kazire Agriculture, they are about, I think, 80 something. But you can't now want to keep watching all these people at once. No. You have to put up structures, people to manage, but you need to keep on the ground. Now, that's when technology comes in, and we had to install systems like the biometric systems where people attend by biometrics, so I can know, even if I'm in Kampala, I will know so and so has not attended. We have cameras. I can go on my phone. I link to the cameras, and I can see people what is happening on the floor. I can open. I go to our EPR system. I can see how much they have sold today. I can cross over to EFRIS. I see how much tax I have to pay. So systems. However much smaller your business is, put systems, put SOPs, standard operating procedures at your business. Yes, to get money, what process should you go through? To get out a product, what procedure should one take? Let them be documented. And they be guidelines. And people must follow them. Even if they are your brothers, at your stage, most of you, I know your businesses are supported by family members. And they should not be volunteers. I suffered when I was trying to transit from a family business to a corporate business, now from a small scale corporate business to a medium scale. I have suffered. Why? There was great compromise between family relations and standard operating procedures for the business. So I had to fire about 40% of my relatives. I think even this month, 2 of my relatives are not going to appear on the payroll. Why? They never registered for the biometrics, so they are not appearing on the attendance register. It is an audit query. How do I pay salary to one of the highly paid officers in the company who does not attend? He goes there physically. I've been meeting him, but he doesn't put his finger. When it is not written, it has not happened. Yes, 2 of them. One is my sister, one is my brother, my last brother. He's the plant engineer. He's not receiving his salary this month. He will get it under another form. He will withhold 6% from his salary. He will be paid as a consultant. But I cannot pay him as an employee because he doesn't appear on the register. If I pay him, it is an audit query, both to URA, to NSSF, even to the company itself. So you must take these positions and be prepared for them ahead. Even you, when you want money, sign for it. Why? If you do not sign for it, one will go and enter a withdrawal and say, you requested the money. People will begin using your name. He said so and so. He said I give so and so. No, systems don't work like that. Write it. Send an email. Create an email where you copy all the key stakeholders of your administrative system. When you say, I said this, let other people also see. What should you hide? So if your business is not open and transparent to systems, it is going to crash very quickly. And the businesses which survived in the informal manner, that was before 2019, before COVID. Post-COVID, you cannot survive. Government has put systems. Government is operating using systems. So you will not survive. You are going to die soon. Because where you sell, they need an e-receipt. So you need a push machine to issue an e-receipt. So URA sees what you have sold. If you are producing, I put digital stamps. For some products, there is that print you see on the cap. The moment the product passes, URA sees. So then you know. So what are you going to hide? So you are planning to die. When you are calculating your cost of production, calculate the tax component and release it. It's not your money. It's the money to facilitate the continuity and growth of the nation. You are investors, you are going to be driving in very good cars very soon. I know some of you are already driving in those cars. So, you are consuming much mileage on the roads. You are using power. But you are aware our dams, most of them are built on loans. Who is going to pay, if not you, who is a big thinker? When they talk about government, many people think about the ministers. The ministers are there having political issues. But issues of sustainability, growth and development, it's the investors, the private sector. We must work towards that. Japan, the Toyota family, is working on that. In Germany, the Benz family is working on that. In America, the Ford, the Rockefellers, they are working on that. For the masks, private sector, working hard day and night for sustainability of national development. So, you are seated here and you are thinking, I'm still young. You are not young. And you are beyond 18 years, so you must contribute to sustainability for the national development. This is transparency that I'm talking about at place of work. She handles inventory. She's a production accountant. She has brought her data. It is to be entered in the system. so that everybody can see how much she received that day. Create those measures in advance. In whatever we are doing, let us put much emphasis to integrate ICT. It is going to solve most of your problems. Time comes when you cannot grow further other than using technology. That be prepared for it. That be prepared for it. It is the way to go. And don't waste time on TikTok. Much of your time as entrepreneurs, CEOs, I wish you be on how it is made. Be mining data every time. Which product sold high in the country? What share of that can you take up? I know now, today I know the soft drink industry, Reham sells about 25 billion every month. Coke sells about 40 billion every month. Pepsi Cola, who is leading us, is selling about 60 to 70 billion every month. But of that money, how much portion is Kazire taking? When I look at that percentage, I can't sleep. Compare data. What is it that they are doing better than me? People in the toothpaste industry, if you do not know how much toothpaste the country imported last month, then you don't know the business you are heading for. You need to get that data. When you get that information, you know how much money is waiting for you. And you know how much energy you need to use to scoop from it. Cedric is here. He's our coordinator for research at Kazire Health Products. He's supposed to tell us what is being consumed high in the community so that production plans, research and innovation plans, research. Why I was talking to some of my colleagues in our department, I was telling them, me, I am not yet leaving the university. Why? It's a base for knowledge. And I need knowledge to grow. But if I am set to consult Professor Gwang as a private sector, really, can I afford? But when I'm here as a student, I get free consultation of huge high value knowledge. I get access to very expensive equipment. An HPLC goes for about 100,000 USD. An FTRSM, that biotechnology lab which is there, is worth about 1 million USD. I go there and use equipment. I get my results. I plan progress as a student. Small student planning big things. So, make sure you don't be far away from the university. Treat the university well. Research continues. Continuous development. Don't be tired of learning. And learning, formal, informal, whichever direction, learn. Smaller seminars, rush and learn. What now, you people who want to be strong CEOs, your eyes should not be like for other people. Okay? When you look at a tree, some people will look at the fruit, those who are hungry. Others will look at the leaf, those who want medicine. Others will look at the stem, those who want timber. But what do you want? In every situation that will be around you. So, one time I was on the road during COVID time. They closed shops, they closed everything. They said industries can keep working. Then I realized during that time, a lot of construction took place. Then I was like, what is being consumed in construction that I can produce? Then I had to go into data to see how is the real estate status of this country. I found there is a deficit for housing facilities. I said, I need to plan. How do I get into this? So that's how I got the company Kazire. And I bought Sinotrax. Because while on the road, I saw Sinotrax kept moving, taking sand, going to do the business. I asked, how much is it? How much money they are selling the sand? I found it was a big business. And I went into it. I am the supplier to Hima Cement. I am the one who supplies Hima Cement. All the sand they use to manufacture cement. And I got my eyes open during COVID because while I was locked, not supposed to move, they are seated at the factory. I kept seeing the trucks moving. So when something passes by you, do you see money or you see excitement? Your eyes shouldn't be like for other people. It has passed. It is carrying what? Can I produce it? What is the cost? How much is it? So now, while I observed the vehicles now as I kept taking sand to him, I saw how much cement was coming out. Then I asked myself, this cement is building what? I remembered it is building buildings, but with what? With the bricks. I said, but when I'm excavating the sand, I cut the clay and throw it. So right now, I already bought 10 acres in Rwampara. My equipment is on the way. I have to produce bricks. So, your eyes must be searching for money. Not only money in the sense of money that you steal, but thinking of many more interlinked opportunities to your system. Okay? Do not be surprised that what you have here as the niche idea, when your mind grows and you become a serious entrepreneur, because your job is to think, you will think and think, the head boils and boils, you go on the internet, you search and search, you try and try, then you discover a bigger dream that will come and swallow this thing which you feel is the number one. And when it happens, don't resist. As long as can you employ many more people, can you generate much more revenue, are you improving nature? Because that is the law of God. Go to this world. The commandment number 1, go into the world and dominate it. To dominate means improve it, make happy people who stay in this world, be a small God who delivers God's vision to the world. Yes, be a small God, bringing peace where there is no peace, solving problems where they are, in your smallness. Then when a small God is doing with another small God, with another small God, then we will be all the small gods, the small children of God, then we embrace and fulfill our big God's dream. And that is what success is about. That when you've left this world, are you able to account for all the time you had here? And that's why, even when many people think, you guy, you have made it. I feel I have not yet made it. That's why I still have to gather many youth and talk to them. By the way, doctor, this is what you have done for me. Is bigger than any other big contract elsewhere. Because I know can't fail to have two people here whom I will meet 10 years from now, and they are very big businessmen. And they will say, when you talked, I learned this. There are a lot of mistakes that I have done. Take it to a witch, take it to a shrine, over speak whatever, then go look for a grave, and they say they are burying your brand. It happens. When I was doing my project at undergraduate, I was trying to study the beliefs, practices, and traditions of natural medicine. It happens. I studied it. And after understanding it, I knew the truth. And I became a very serious Christian. I'm even a catechist in the Roman Catholic Church. I facilitate at Uganda Matters Church. I'm the assistant to the head catechist. Because I was able to see that to succeed, there is another power, the invisible power that makes you survive and move over the unmovable things because of that hidden force. And it is the power of the Creator. You cannot be a strong innovator. You cannot be a successful entrepreneur. You cannot dream dreams that turn into things when you are weak spiritually. I do not mind my brother Muhammadi. Go be at the mosque and intervene for that power. If we have one who is not a Christian, you are an African traditionalist, go. Make sure you have a big shrine and have big mandwas there. But there is nothing like you joke or mess to grow big. There is spiritual intervention. If you go to all my facilities, you will find altars. Even now at Kazire factory, right now as I'm here speaking, there is someone reciting the rosary. There is a small room for Mother Mary, and every Wednesday, a priest has to come and offer sacrifice for the business. So don't joke. People are ready to use witchcraft and work with the devil and frustrate your business. But you must be ready also to frustrate them. You need to pray for your business. Pray for your business partners. Pray for your success. Pray for right decisions. Me, I can reach a moment when a deal is coming and we are on the table. And when I pray, I say, God, whenever I'm going for a big mission, I make sure I first go to church, I get the Eucharist. And Catholics who are here, you know what that means. You have received the body and blood of Jesus. So you are no longer existing. Jesus is at hand. So if any deal is fishy, you will see people reacting in a boardroom and you won't sign. It has happened many times. So I know what I'm talking about. There is success that comes beyond human activities. And we must go for that. No Indian can open his shop without burning some things and talking to some power which I do not know. I don't mind where that power is coming from, but I believe there is a certain power that guards that Indian business. The Chinese. You can't joke. If someone is a Buddhist, you will first feed them with the apples that they say God of money, God of what, whichever God they are talking about. So, CEOs, people are waiting to frustrate you. But be prepared. If you're a Christian, be a strong Christian. Pray always. Pray for your business. Pray for your future. For the future of your company. If you're a Muslim, go. Pray as much as you can. And if you are an African traditionalist, have a big mandwa. Yes. I know some people whose businesses depend on animal sacrifices and they do it weekly and they are doing well. but I don't know how much sustainable it is. That's where the challenge is. With this, I want to wish you luck. I want to assure you the journey is walkable. It is possible. As long as you have what to sell, there is a lot of money in this world. Sit well, produce a quality product, give a quality service. You will never saturate the market. And with that, God will always be with you and you will be very successful. From 20,000 Ugandan shillings to now approximately 40 billion, that's about 10 million US dollars. It is possible over a short period, 2 decades. So, patience, focus, quality, transparency, you will succeed. God bless you.
Thank you, CEO Kazire. You know, my first lesson was your name. Your name. You can slide back. For me, I used to write it the way it is written on the Kazire we drink. Yet there is AI, Kazire. So that was my first lesson. But the main lesson for every one of us is live your dream. Nobody will live the dream for, and it is a hustle. Hasn't he hustled? This is the one we call a business coach in this program. Him and many more are going to be your business coaches beyond this bootcamp. Sir, we invite you on the team of business coaches. In the middle of this month, we shall be having a coaches meeting. We shall invite you, sir, spare us some little time. We shall gather together, business coaches, the first cohort of business coaches in southwestern Uganda. And the purpose of the business coaches is to make sure they support our startups. Make sure they start up. You can imagine that courage with 20 what? He threw away the degree and started evacuating Yabayai. Chukumi. That's it. And he is the one who is going to make you shape your dream to fruition. We thank you for this good presentation. Little did I know that it would be as good as this. In a special way, I want to request you to thank Shadrach for me. But because he is a gentleman, I want also to get permission from you to give him this microphone. And he says a word, although his boss has already talked. Just a word, just 2 minutes. Gambraba and Tuaba, how you inspire your boss. So that wherever they go, they have bosses. They should inspire them also.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manasseh. I'm privileged to touch this mic after my boss has spoken. He's a very wise man by all standards, and speaking after him is a very big trouble, but I will try. I met him during COVID. Remember that segment of General Museveni saying, thereafter, the government has decided 21 days. That's the time I met him. So, and we have moved this journey. When you meet me in the company, you may think I've been there for a decade, but it's a short stint of 4 years. But I'm progressing very well. So while working, I had come just to do a project of about 6 months, and I ended up staying forever. But one thing I learned about him and some people in his caliber, when you're working with those people, you have to have a value to add to him on a daily basis, if not every hour. Because if he doesn't give you an instruction, like if he doesn't call me between 6 a.m., if I have not slept at his place, between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., Then I start thinking whether there is a problem. I have to call other people around him and say, have you seen the boss? So you have to have something to add to him on a daily basis. And I have been doing it for the last 4 years. It is a huge task. You have to read hard. You have to make sure that whenever you meet him, there is something new that adds value to this big business empire that you have come to present to him. Otherwise, he will get tired of you and you'll never see him. Another thing, and I kept reading and reading, and then I met this video. It is on YouTube. The first President Obama's ADC. I am forgetting the name. Maybe I'll remember it after here. This boy met Obama when he was campaigning as a senator for Illinois. And then he wanted to be a speechwriter for him. But that time, Obama did not want a speechwriter. So he went ahead and won an election. The other one was an intern. And then 4 years down the road, Obama now comes as the president. Then through another connection, and then it came as a surprise. A boy who knew Obama introduced, that boy is called Fav, I think that name, introduced him to Obama. Then Obama was like, I do not think I need a speechwriter at this moment, but let me give it a try. So they went into the room, they rehearsed. He said, you're a gentleman, you're going to do this job. He started as his speechwriter through that campaign, the popular We Can, the 2007-2008 campaign. So they won. So he automatically becomes the ADC. So I followed his write-ups and then I knew what I was going to do. There's little to choose between him and Obama. The thinking is like the three phases of electricity. So if you want to be a CEO, know where you are going. So there are other assistants, like 20 of them. All of them must be on tension. There's running farm, there's everywhere engineers, those in IT, they have to be thinking. And then me as the coordinator on top. So at first when I had started working with him, I had a recorder. So I kept on recording, then at night I would go and transcribe. And then I know what to tell him next day. Yesterday you said we do this. So your thinking must not be the usual thinking. You have to think like a three-phase. Basically, that's all I can say. I wish you good luck.
Okay, so that's a good one. That's a good one. I'll give you opportunity, don't worry. Sarah is going to moderate the Q&A session that will handle every one of us. You can see in his testimony, he's an effective delegator. He's an effective delegator. Sir, between me and you, we share the one common thing. We only know one language, money. While you are a direct investor, I'm a portfolio investor. I don't make noise, but we all have one la. So we need to connect more. Please be a business coach in this program, and we shall be sending a formal invitation, and we shall do all the regularization to make sure you are part of the Faculty of Business in this mentorship program. I think that's enough for that. I want to invite Dr. Sarah to moderate the next session of Q&A. And in this session, we should give it a maximum of 20 minutes because we have other pending activities.
Okay, who is going first? I'm going to be as fast as that.
Mine is just a compliment or a testimony because it was in 2018 that I was chanced to travel with none other than Edward Kazire to Jerusalem. Yeah, that's why you are my neighbor, because I live in Uluti. And what I want to tell you is about his religious tendencies. When we were in Jerusalem and going to Calvary, The golden cross we carried was his. Where he got it from, I don't know. And I do believe that all of us who carried that cross, though we prayed for ourselves, we prayed for you. Indirectly. And he bought all articles that relate to religion. That's what he bought. Wherever we went, I was watching you. Now, back at his factory, people who work there early in the morning, every worker must run to first attend to a prayer. Isn't it so? And then he even carried them to Kibeho in Rwanda to pray to Mother Mary. I hope you will give them another chance. So, that tells you who he was or who he is. And people will not say, they will not stop to say that you go underground. But when you know the God that you serve, you keep with that God. But then another thing that I have to say about him, though he didn't say it, but now I have seen another twist that he's doing. You know, my friends who are with the guava leaf, and I will not say who you are, and the cloves. Some people can decide to frustrate you, and they don't sell to you the cloves because they want to put your business down. But he bought land and planted the aloe vera and other things, and the lemons. For that very time, when people are, the haters are up in arms and they are not supplying to him. Am I deceiving? But then he also meets those tendencies. But you must keep focused on God. And now you can see he's saying he's shifting and going to the sale business. So, keep thinking. I always tell people that, oh yes, I'm old, but age is a number. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Imelda.
First, I want to thank Dr. Edward Kazire. It was a very inspirational talk. One of the things I picked is how you started from 20K to 40 billion. Is it 40 billion today? Brilliant. It's very inspirational. Thank you very much. And I'm sure our young entrepreneurs here are very inspired from this. So my question is one, if you talked about the various experiences that your whole journey, I'm sure you made so many mistakes, but you kept improving, okay? So if we were to take you 20 years back, what would you do different? Let's leave alone maybe the mistakes you made along, but if you are starting your journey today, what would you do different? Does that make sense? What would you do different, which you can pass, that message, want to pass it to the entrepreneurs here? We have taken you 20 years back. What would you do different?
Thank you, sir. One key thing, I would install systems before I begin. Unfortunately, many people today, they begin, then they want to put systems after. Let me tell you, the procedure to protect 1 million is the same procedure to protect 100 million. It's the same procedure to protect 10 billion. Today, our monthly sales are between 1.6 to 2 billion. So you can imagine, our daily cash in transit is about 300 to 400 million. So you have trucks transiting with that cash. Now, assuming I have not yet put systems, it would practically mean that one vehicle simply disappears and you have just lost 80 million at once. When we talk about systems, we are talking about what are your SOPs on money matters. What are your SOPs in the production system? How does a product leave the factory to your warehouse? Because I reached a time, that's how I said, I'm so tired. I need to separate distribution and selling from Kazire. And I registered Liz Logistics. I dedicated it to my last born, Elizabeth. And it is based at Bona Stores in Rweb Corner. So now Kazire manufactures, and I have told Kazire to concentrate at producing a quality product. Then let him deliver to Liz. Then there is another team there whose job is to think about how to hit a target of 2.6 billion every month. But while those are doing that, there is another team seated at the NSSF building here. We sit on top of that building where our data system is. The IT people are there with their eyes on computers like this every minute. They are checking every sale that is happening and the location of every salesperson. And they are able to see that you have already sold, you have money more than 5 million, why are you still carrying it? Bank it. Because if you don't do that, you are in a very big problem. Then I am able, while others are doing that, others are tracking to see where every vehicle is moving. Because we have more than 50 vehicles. And you can imagine you need to know the fuel each vehicle has consumed. Others are agricultural equipment. They are on the farm. They are working. They are slashing through trees. Because we want to bear that grass, I have to feed it to the cows. I need to know how much manure they have generated because I don't want to spend on fertilizers. But I need to know how much the fuel I have put to slash between the grass, the tons of birds that have come from there, the weight gain on the animals in our shed. Is it making business sense? Is it worth how much I would have bought artificial fertilizers? Then while they are doing that, I need to look at the fuel consumption also at someone who is excavating sand, which I have to deliver to him. Am I making business? So I need another team which is monitoring, is on GPS, monitoring every vehicle where it is going. Then, are they driving on the right speed? Who are those overspeeding? Who are going to cause you penalties to the traffic? So, it is huge. And I lost a lot of money because I delayed to put systems in place. And part of that money was not small money. See what happened. Here is a general manager who is my relative, whom I'm trusting like God. I have credit limits in different suppliers. And she's an agent on my account. But remember, I have not gone to online banking that I can see what is happening on my account. Then she withdraws. She says they have paid for materials to come, but you don't have a system to monitor that. Then she calls for a credit from the supplier. You actually see goods have come, production has happened, but you are producing in a negative because you are producing on credit, but money was withdrawn from the bank and it was used to do other personal things. Thank God they were my relatives. They have all become rich and they are now independent. But if I never had a robust cash flow in terms of my margins, actually if you have noticed, Kazire is the most expensive beverage in the country. In DRC, in Kinshasa, a bottle is $10. I think in Somalia, they are selling it at about $7. In Kenya, it sells at $5. So, if we never had the biggest component of the Kazire products being the intellectual value, I would be gone. And I was lucky, you may not be lucky. And I found one of my other relatives, who is a cousin, went and sold a delivery, 28 million. Came with the money, went and reported to accounts, the client has not paid, will pay soon. And they would take money into money lending. Now you are here complaining that you have a bad customer who does not pay in time. So you are losing a loyal customer. The money was taken, the product was taken, you don't have money in the bank, you don't have a product in the raw material store, you don't have a finished product in your warehouse, so where are you? But today, it is impossible. When it leaves the production, when a raw material arrives, we can see. When you pay supplier, we can see. When you withdraw money, I can see. In the evening, I will see how much money was drawn from the account. I will go to the ledger of the purchases. I will see it is the money that was spent. I will look at the e-invoices immediately. Because if you say you have paid the supplier so and so, they issued e-freeze, an e-invoice. It comes to my email, so I can see. So it is very important for you. Put systems first and begin business. When I went to India Institute of Entrepreneurship, I had gone to learn one thing. Why is it that in Uganda, if the CEO dies, the next thing to bury is his company? And I found it was one simple thing: systems. So even if you are there or not there, today I am here studying. I can finish a week without stepping at the site, but even when in the lab, I can take a short break, I go on my phone, I will see how people are moving, I will see how stock is moving. So I am on ground when I am not there physically. Systems. Government has done it, that's why corruption is dropping. So do it to avoid corruption at your company. You will be very successful, quickly and faster. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Hey. Lara?
Thank you so much. It's super interesting listening to you. I would really love to understand more how you built up your sales and distribution system, how you went from doing the work manually and now even selling in other countries. And I think I've seen among your 3 companies that you also have now a logistics company. Could you explain a bit your journey, how you got there?
Thank you, Madam CEO. You know, life is sweet. Why is it sweet? Every challenge makes you grow. I pick a certain distributor comes, a very big distributor in this country, tells me, I want to distribute your product. I say, oh, great. He tells me he's going to give me great mileage. I said, fine. After giving him the product, he goes, sells it. After selling it, he tells me my product has issues. I say, bring it back to the factory. It is not coming. I'm not even getting the money. Then I got annoyed. So anger is good when it is good anger that is going to bring positive impact by your actions. So that's when I felt, what is it that is required to start a distribution company? Immediately, like he said, I called him. I told him, contacts, there is a certain gentleman. He has a PhD in distribution and those marketing things. I said, call him, I want to meet him. He sat. I said, I want to learn about this. So I began. And I finished 2 weeks on internet trying to learn the best distribution companies in the world. How do they work? I did all that. Then after that, I told him, we need to do a model. I told him, this is the story. Go model. I want it in a simple flow chart on a paper. So he had to sit with another team of 5. So they had to bring. They bring, I say, I'm not seeing what I want to see. I cancel. They go back. They again perfect. I cancel. About 10 times, then they come with something that looked logical. And then one of them was, you must measure the movement of the trucks. You must think about how to reduce people carrying cash. So we had to go register the Momo Pays, what all those modes of payment. Then we needed also to get the mapping of the clients. So I needed a software that would do mapping. And we used an Indian software called Task Eye. So we can see, it gives a prompt. Even today, if a salesperson is sick, and I give another salesperson to go, we simply give the tablet. So when he is approaching, he will get a prompt telling him, in the next 1 meter, turn to the right, there is a Kazire customer. So, what did that mean? That the company controls the network of its customers, not the salesperson putting you at stake that when he's sick, you cannot know where your customers are. And that software has helped us. That's how we know that we sell a product in Kinshasa and at this price. Because whoever scans on the barcode on our product, Google updates us on the price they sold that product and the location. So we are able to do that. But it took us, I think, 3 months modeling and designing it. It took us 2 years to make it realistic. Like recently, we had a promotion called the Chakaza promotion. I hired all experts in promotions, even from Nairobi. They came, they would present. When I would ask them, we are on the scene of activation, demonstrate. Then you hear them saying, you see, no, I can't see. Demonstrate so that I understand. And there was nobody that would give me an activation that would cause my heart to warm up. Then I told Cedric, we are wasting time. We need to sit and think. We went back to the war room. That small room where he says when he sleeps at my place, when I say we are sleeping home, we are not sleeping actually. It is thinking, a night of thinking. Then we think, then we go to the internet. That's why you people love internet. Love internet because it gives you global benchmarking. So most of the adoptions of our methods in our systems are international because we are picking from the internet. What has happened in UK? How is it done in India? How is it done in the USA? Then when we bring it on ground and try to customize it, that's why when we were coming, he was commenting on a certain company saying, the people we interview, whenever they are coming from this company, I don't know how they do their work. I told him that it's not us who are the problem. The problem is our standard. We are benchmarking globally. But we want to do it locally here in a small city of Mbarara. And that's how we have been able to shoot our sales. They grew from 700 million per month to now 1.7 billion per month after 9 months. Because we did that Chakaza promotion successfully, we had to build automated raffles that when we reach on a scene, we say, people participate, and we call person from the public, say, come, you are the one to select the winner. And they put with their hands, they raffle, they select the winner. So things must be tangible, must be simple to the users, that they must understand your processes. transparency in whatever you are doing. So we have had the best distribution company now. And one major reason why I started it is that a young entrepreneur here will have a good product, very efficient, very effective, but he has no connection to the business community, which is the channel for money. He has no distribution network. When he goes to talk to some big giants who have not experienced what I have suffered, they don't want to listen to him. They say, what are you talking? Can you give us on credit and wait for 3 months repayment period? But you are talking to someone whose cash is in that product. He wants it back to him. So I said, no, we need to think and put a solution to this. And I think Liz Logistics is open to most of you. If your product is already certified, is meeting the national standards, we will be able to distribute it for you on a margin that we accept on. You make money, we make money, we grow our businesses. When you become big, that I can't accommodate you, you go and learn from us and put your own infrastructure. So what's wrong when you are passing me with a BMW and I'm following you with a Jeep, then another one is passing us with a good Land Cruiser and the whole nation is happy, you know? And nobody is thinking about where is our future. That's my dream. So that's how I started the distribution company, from the challenge. So, dear CEOs, let every challenge not be a lamenting moment, but a moment to make you think how to come out of that problem. But as you come out of it, let the problem be a stepping stone for you to another stage. Now, this logistics is employing about 87? We are 87 or 130? 87 people. If that Indian never frustrated me, I don't think those people would be having employment there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Jeez, that was so powerful. Entrepreneurs, they'll have a word.
Okay, thank you very much for the very insightful session. I'm sure a lot of these students have been quite inspired. My question goes back to where those students mostly are right now, right? Which is, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of people pursue entrepreneurship not because of ambition, but because of necessity, because they can't find a job. Now the only option they have is to go and start something, right? And you talked about having this ambitious dream, and it all starts with a problem, right? You've identified a problem. For example, in your case, it was the herbal sector. You thinking that people are not utilizing the nature to actually solve a problem, right? What advice can you give to these entrepreneurs on how they can find what you call a problem worth solving that is not only solving a problem, but is enterprising as well? Because the main challenge I'm seeing is, and I think it's also in our education system, when you go to university, you learn how to answer questions, but you don't learn how to ask the right questions. And from your perspective, how can they balance the both between solving the right problem, which is having impact, but also is enterprising, that they can grow in scale, as you mentioned, to different countries, to globally. Of course, we know that we might lack exposure, yes? But I mean, from your journey, we can learn that you don't have to grow in the United States to be inspired to build something of your own, right? So what word can you give to the students to make them understand how do you solve the right problem? How do you make sure that it's enterprising, scalable, and market valued? But also, I like the question that you asked. If someone paid you $10,000 right now, would you still be working on this idea, right? And I'm sure, I had actually asked a similar question to one student. He told me I would go and look for that job, right? So from your perspective, what advice can you give in this slide? Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. You see, I later discovered that entrepreneurship is a game. That, you see, these people, one of my first son likes football so much that you can put food and he eats a little while his whole spirit is on the screen, but there is an activity of eating happening. So I found And when he's on the pitch, because whenever he comes, he insists he wants the companies to pray with other companies, and he tells me he's the big coach of the group, and I let him do, because I like going there to see the spirit of an entrepreneur. So when you score, you don't say, aha, I have finished. You actually want to score another goal. And you want to score another goal. So that is something that happens in entrepreneurship. That when you think and think and think and solve one problem, then you feel like you want to solve an extra problem. But this is natural. When you solve one problem and fix it, you will see other problems are surrounding it. They will come naturally. And this will bring the law of natural linkages. And as you try to improve and invest further, you will be investing in the cross links. There are those gaps you will not notice. Like now, to invest in distribution, it was a result where I wanted to make effective the way I do the selling. But at the end of the day, now many other people are bringing in their products they want us to sell for them. We are solving their problem of poor distribution, but we are also making business out of it. It is still making money for us. So, how it happens, I cannot explain naturally. But whenever I'm moving, I'm forced to see and ask myself, how can I be a player in this sector where there is this challenge? It keeps pushing you. It keeps pushing you. But to be more specific, there has to be some hidden anger in you about the experience of what is happening today and also what you want to see ahead. That has to be there. If you don't have it, then you are in a wrong audience. So that even when you feel like giving up, your anger cannot allow you. There is something that I must see, that when I pass in the central market, I shouldn't see tomatoes rotting when I can add value to it and make tomato sauce. And still Uganda has to import Americana to come on the shelf. And there is that farmer who makes a lot of roast. So there has to be some force. It's a push that has to be on you. But if it is about, I want to be there because I don't have the job, it practically means the day you get the job, you will quit the business. Today, I do not know. I work with the President's office at STI. But I do not think even if they wanted to make me a permanent staff there, you would allow. Because I have no time. I want to think. One of my friends was asking me at the investors forum, which we had last year here at Kacheka. He told me, you man, I think we should think about you in one of these ministries. I told him, no. Why? There is something I want to be doing to see a problem being solved, because I know there is a great difference between the boardroom discussion and the ground discussion. Huge difference. When we leave this room, you are going to find a very big difference on the activities you want to implement. Huge gap with what you have written as the plan, the models. It is important we write them on paper array, Because on the paper you can tear them with less cost. Planning. You can break your plans as much as possible on paper than first putting money in them and you break them in the field and on ground when you have lost money. So still, let money not be the driving factor. Let putting a good product that will solve community problem be the driving factor. Money will come rushing, following you, chasing you. Today, our product, Alsaton, for peptic ulcers, we get orders and we can't produce the volumes they want because of the nature of the raw materials, and we have to tell certain pharmacies, be patient. We must follow our batch manufacturing procedures. I need to have the batch manufacturing certificates to be validated. I need to bring the sample here in the university at the HPLC for fingerprint profiling to be sure that every molecule I expect in this product is present. But money is calling me. But I cannot feel I'm getting ready to pick that money. No. I am ready to deliver a quality product. And that's why my demand can never die. So, cross-check every time as you walk. Look for the problems. And those problems that you identify, ask yourself, how can you solve them? And let me tell you, our challenges here have been attended to elsewhere. That's why I say be lovers of internet. Go there and research and see. This problem is happening here. How was it attended to in other part of the world? And can you adopt their methodology? Is it economical? Is it affordable? Is it sustainable? If so, does it make business sense? If so, go for it as a businessman. Actually, when I went to India, I was forced to go to Gujarat because I wanted to reach a certain small city where they produce bricks from. And I wanted to see how I could have a kiln that can burn 1 million bricks at a phase than having disgruntled very many people there in villages with each one burning 10,000 here, another one 5,000 here. Then you go in the villages, people are still mixing clay with food, and you are like, slavery, when are you leaving Africa? So that annoys me. Then I have to plan. I get a mixing machine. I bring an excavator to extract the clay. Then I mix. Then I gather these guys who have been in this business. I tell them now your job is simple. Pick the bricks from the belts and lay them well. You are not displacing them in the business, but you are associating them into a more smart and formal business. You see? There's a problem pushing me in that direction. I want to standardize brick production for this city. But while you're working on that, you are involving the practitioners who have been in it, bringing them into a standardized, systematic way of doing business. But as they have more professional, standardized earning, it is also making a business for you. And at the end of the day, you are just feeling happy in your heart. And I can't stop. Even if people say, you stop, I can't stop, because there is that internal force pushing me. Are we there? So check yourself. If what you are pushing now, there is any issue that can make you stop, then you are not yet on the dream. Rethink. And when you think, like today, I don't know who can stop me from making aloe vera. Nobody. Even now I'm in Masindi, planting. I'm planting there 2,000 acres of aloe vera. Because I see the demand is growing. I can't stop. It is unstoppable. That thing inside you is unstoppable. Ford asked himself, how would you plan to sell the company which you have been dreaming for? Every night you sleep and wake up, you are dreaming about it. So when does the dream of abandoning it start? Are we together? Especially you who are in teams of more than one. If a colleague comes and that morning he's telling you that he's planning to abandon, I don't think that is a normal dream. Okay? So, harmonize your mind, your soul, your body, as you push to the future, that the dream and purpose should be unstoppable. And that's when you not spend on non-issues, money which is meant for the project. You can't, because you feel you are going to lose the dream. Thank you.
So the problem should be rooted in the community, and it must connect with your heart. Am I right? In a few words. Thank you very much. Any other more burning question, members?
Yes. So I'm Malay Andrew, once again, here with Ali G. Lip Balm, an investor, an entrepreneur as well. So my issue is, my query, not query actually, concern, where I seek inquiry is the capital part, how you started, because being an entrepreneur, we actually need capital. So what I really want to know, because some people do get jobs and get the capital from there. As they are working, they upgrade their investment. Or some simply have rich relatives that grant them the money. Trump, his father, gave him $1 million to start his investment. Some people do get loans. At this age, we actually don't have security. But you mentioned you started with 20,000 Ugandan shillings. So how did you exactly do it? I am getting this insight of you did delayed gratification, where you integrated your business assets with the distillers and the equipment and everything. And we are in the pharmaceutical sector. I'm a pharmaceutical scientist, and my friends, the equipment is actually very expensive. So I don't know, it's not playing out very well. So I want to ask, did you get like some grants somewhere? I don't know, like some startups, I don't know. Or did you get like investors who come up and bring me the prepositions and they propose that I want to invest in you, but in return, I want a percentage of your sales and profit? And if so, how best do you collaborate with them and create like a relationship in business and be like, I'm going to earn this, but off of this, this is my cut and this is your cut? I don't know. Okay, yeah, please, can you help us answer that?
Thank you, my brother. I think one key thing, when you have a quality product that works today, that's why I said these days it is easier for a startup to move on than before. I think now, like say, at Chumoro, from a biotruck, has equipment which is lying there, lacking products to process. That's called contract manufacturing. So there is an equipment, it has no product. You have a formula and a product, you have no equipment. So what is missing is just you to sit down and agree. I bring in my material, you process, you charge me. At how much are you charging me? If they say they charge you this much, fine. Pay, go. Compute it into your production costs, add that value, but at the end of the day, after your selling and distribution, have you kept with a margin? Which margin will make you to keep it cumulatively? Then at the end of the day, you reach a level of buying your equipment. Okay? Like now, there is a product which I want to capsulate. But I cannot now go into importing a capsulating line when I know that Doctor's Choice in Jinja has a facility already licensed by National Drug Authority, but he doesn't run full time. So I will go there, I use his equipment to make my product, and when I outgrow his capacity, I will install my own line. Varga, one of the richest guys in this city, I do not think he started his hardware in his own complex. People who do business in this city, I do not think they are all operating in their own buildings. They rent, they do business, they make money, they grow rich, they even build bigger buildings. Should be the entrepreneur's mind. You do not need to own all that you use. That is what blocks many entrepreneurs. The spirit of owning, it kills. So, if it is about a lip balm, I know at Chumro they have facilities that can produce it. Go, meet with Pharmabio Track, agree. How much, what do you put in your batch? What will be the cost of production? How much they will charge you batch-wise for each unit? They produce, you go, you sell. And you make the money. At the end of the day, an entrepreneur, it's about how do you make money produce. It doesn't matter whether you are the one owning it. In my case, see, I never needed to have a beehive. That the beehive were the first honey, which was my carrying agent to hold my active component, needed to be from my own beehive. No, I needed simply honey. I never had money to buy it, but I borrowed honey. You can borrow in kind. You don't necessarily need to borrow hard cash. Many people, when they come at my facility and look inside and they see the equipment, they begin saying, this man should have sold somewhere some shares. But today, company profile is public knowledge. You go at URSB, type in directors of Kazire Health Products, you will see the names will come. I have 90% in that company. My wife, the managing director, Ivas, she has 10%. And we have moved. Then we reached a stage when the banks come and beg, you man, we want to give you money. And I say, at what rate? While in my big city. Then the commercial banks talk, I say, no, I can't borrow from a commercial bank. Your rate is too high. I say, no, I can only borrow at a percentage not more than 10%. So I borrow from a development bank. My partners are Uganda Development Bank. They can give me all the tune of the money I want. My payback period, I negotiate it. I tell them, no, I will pay after 10 years. Because I have the business. They got my statement, they see the cash flowing. That's why I'm telling you, make sure even the little money you get today, let it pass through your bank account. Formalize now, put systems. When they come, I tell them, you can look, I tell my IT team, project the distribution network. And even when they are seated there in the boardroom, they are seeing how trucks are moving. They are seeing dots of every truck as it moves. They are seeing how you are covering the whole nation moving. and they have no words to say. Your system is talking to them, and they quickly sign while panicking. But if you don't have the system, they are asking you the bank statement, you don't have it. They are asking you your distribution system, you don't have it. They are asking you your sustainability plan, you don't have it. Then they feel there is a financial risk here. So my brother, if you have a good product, a good formula, go for contract manufacturing. We are lucky, government has invested a lot of money in this university under a mobile truck program. You can access equipment, you can produce a quality product, it gets on the market. Once you become big for them, you go build your own plant. And the business of thinking that money will come, there is no free money. Money will come in form of a loan or equity. Some people will come and say they want shares in your company, but do they match your dream? So you could be rushing and you said your dream. Allow it start small and grow big than starting big and you shrink and you run small and finally die. I started small, I kept growing and growing and growing. Now our growth rate is exponential and unstoppable. And it is possible with you once you keep quality and systems. Thank you.
So as I said in the beginning on Tuesday, I'm starting a study of the psychology of money. And it seems he's one of the key participants in this study. The psychology of money. Every one of us will be a participant in this study. Even sweet things finally come to an. We are grateful that you found time for us, and we are proud that you have promised to be part of our coaches. I think in this discussion, you have seen the need for coaches in this program. These are the people we are going to attach to each of the teams, because our success is going to be measured by your takeoff. I don't want to preempt the speech of my colleague, but I want Dr. Prudence to take this moment to pass a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Manasseh. Fellow, I will call ourselves participants in this evening's talk from Dr. Kazire. I think we are honored to have him, because what more could we have gotten from somewhere else? I thank you very much, Doctor, for taking us through your entrepreneurship journey. We have been moving with these young entrepreneurs, and they have tried to do fascinating projects, but having it from the source adds more value. So we are honored to have you. We are honored for having you spare your precious time. I think, Cedric, you have given us the testimony that he's a very busy man. So having him in this afternoon, giving us the trajectory of his business journey is a very great honor to us, not only to us as mentors, but even these young entrepreneurs who see themselves growing. So now they can look at where will I be in the next 10 years. Now you have a very good example. I think he started as a young graduate, like you are also graduating soon, and he has not stopped. You don't reach a point and say you have reached. And where he started, he has had branches, you know, starting in a drug, or I may say, you called it the first product you had. And then now you are in transport, you are in logistics, so the mind is open and you have to keep thinking and developing your product until you feel you have not only served yourself, but even the community. So as MUST community, as Project 5 participants, we are very grateful. And as Oliver said, we want some more. this shouldn't be the end. So when you are invited, we shall be grateful to have you back and give us more dose of what? Of that great inspiration. Thanks very much.
With those remarks, I want to hand over back to you, Laura, to continue coordinating the event. You are free to stay. We welcome you. Don't want to miss you any moment with you. Oh, but if you were leaving, pass by that room, I will be joining you.
Wow, I think that was quite an amazing afternoon. Let's do a very, very quick round of reflections. What is one core lesson that you picked from the talk? What is something that stood out for you? Yeah.
You have to think, you have to keep learning. Sorry. You have to think, you have to keep learning, and that drives you into making a quality product and having what you want in future. And also he hit on the point of having structures before you start, because structures give you the trajectory of where you should move, and even you can't miss any process like which could let you down in the start. So that's what stood out for me.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thanks to Project 5 for organizing and inviting Dr. Kazire. I particularly liked how he emphasized the importance of formalizing our businesses early. And I'll give a brief testimonial from EcoFair. Since we started, we've been struggling with formalization. And recently, with my directors, we discussed when we made some profits in Jan, what should we prioritize? Should we get a fund, communicate with customers, or should we formalize business with URSB? It's quite expensive. And I think I have the answer right now. And we cannot go wrong with that and so many other key points that the rest of us will share. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Maido, once again. Probably from the previous speech from Dr. Kazire, I've noted one quote, which was, business is both physical and spiritual. You may do each and everything physically, leaving out the spiritual perspective, but at the end, you may not gain out. Because there is always that invisible power that generates something to somewhere. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, here's another hand. Let's pass. Okay, you come after.
Good afternoon. Kisalita Dens. Well, for me, Dr. Kazire has encouraged me a lot because we've been working on our company for a year, and we've been trying to work on the formal part, registration, lawyers, then the formulation. So we've taken a full year and we've never made this. So, but the fact that he's talking about those small details of the company, the making a quality product, it has actually showed me that we've also been making progress.
Yeah, great. Let's hand over to...
Good evening. I'm Bashir Atwaire. For me, what I have learned from Dr. Kazire is mainly record keeping. And if I can quote him, he said that if not written, then it has not happened. Therefore, what we have to do in our own businesses is to mainly focus on record keeping. And we think with that information, I will practice more about record keeping. I was mainly using receipts only, other formal will keep record keeping. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, we have maybe one more here and then one more there, and then we move on.
Good evening, members. Me, what I have learned from Dr. Kazire's speech is one. There are very many, but one of it is when you want to solve something, you have to be with anger of it. Yeah, but as me, my anger is I want to fight plastics. So it is one that is forcing me to come up with, the one that forcing us as a bamboo people to come up with things that are going to fight plastics. So that is what I've learned from his speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hand over to the other side.
Hello, everybody. Are you there? What I'm going to say, I think I would like just first to say, to apologize our mentor there. I remember yesterday, he asked us for, it was a simple question. Are we going to build? To build, and we are learning it just in few days. So, sir, I'm very sorry for yesterday. If you really apologize me, you clap once. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, let's hear from her.
Thank you so much. May have learned that we should see money in anything. We should always be innovative. Anything we see money, that we can get money from it.
Let's hear from, okay, yeah, that's okay. Now everyone wants to say something, that's okay.
Hi, everyone. So me, what I have learned is being transparency, to build that trust with your customers. Sometimes your customer can give you much money than what you expected, and you're like, let me keep this one, the balance. But let us be transparent. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So for me, what really stood out for me was set up systems. Set up systems for your businesses. Have a sustainability plan. Have documents. Documentation is really important. And have constitutions. Know what each of your team does, their roles, and yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I think the day has really been great, but I would just like to highlight a few things that really I liked, and I felt like this is what we need to do. One example that he gave was like him parking his car, then going to dustbins to check how many bottles of the Kazire drink are inside. It shows like he researches both locally here, like how his product is moving, then also, on his competitors, like internationally, like he talked of India and all that kind of thing. Then it shows like research does not end. Yeah, I can give an example of the system we are making. One time when we started thinking of this system, we are in the other campus. I think in the same month, we had almost a similar system from this side. But what made us beat them was the communication with the mobile phone. But I remember I attended a session where my competitors were there. So it really motivates me. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ayo Dennis. What I've learned from Dr. Kazire's talk today is that our technologies for fighting malaria like we are doing, we could see how much government of Uganda is spending abroad to import such technologies in Uganda, and that would help us to know how much we would be earning in case we work out on ours. Another thing that I've taken from Dr. Kazire's speech today